Welcome back, Vid Headz, to another good video. A6400 rig. After this. Yes, welcome back. If you've been around this channel any length of time, you know this channel is all about iron sharpening iron. We all taking our skill to the next level. My name is Aaron Jones. I'm your big brother, and I got your back. And if you're all about that type of information, make sure you go ahead and hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell, because I got a lot of content coming at you, and I don't want you to miss anything that may end up helping you. So with that being said, Sony a6400 rig. So what I did was I was trying my best to put together a rig for the a6400 for my personal use, based on a criteria how I need my rig to be able to function. So basically for me, it's really about imagery and it's about battery power. Now, if you know, like I know, the battery for the a6400 does not last that long, maybe an hour, if that. For me, I needed something that's gonna give me better battery consumption. So what I did was I went on ahead and kind of modeled it after my A7 III rig. If you have not seen that video, go ahead and check that out right here. The a6400 does not take as much battery consumption as the A7 III, which is, you know, viably so, because it's a smaller camera. It doesn't have as much processing power as the A7 III and those types of things. But still, I need to last longer than the OEM battery gives me. So yes, I'm excited because I made some improvements. I did some little modification to my battery holder here, my V-mount battery holder. And so I'm excited to go ahead and show you those things right about now. So basically what I did was I took a regulator. What it does is it takes in the voltage from the actual V-mount battery and it turns it into 5 volts DC along with 2 amps output. And so if you know anything about these Sony batteries, if you have 2 amp output or more, then you can function the camera while it's plugged into an external source, as long as you're getting the 2 amps or more battery power through the USB. And in the case of the a6400, it is USB type B, which is a micro USB connection. So what I did with this particular V-mount plate is I went on ahead and modified and put the regulator inside the plate. I had the USB type B coming right out of the V-mount plate. And so it plugs right into the camera. So that is gonna help me, and it's gonna free up any ports that I may have been using. It's gonna give me better cable management. And I'm just excited about it myself, because I can now function my camera with this particular battery plate using my V-mount batteries. Any of my V-mount batteries will work, and I'm using these FX Lion mini V-mount batteries. I have the Nano 1, I also have the Nano 2, and I'm also rocking these FX Lion BP M98 batteries. I have a couple of these as well, so that I have plenty of battery power for a day's shoot with both my cameras, which is the a6400 and the A7 III. And so that's what I wanted to show you guys, is this is something that's viable. And if you're anything like me, I didn't want to go with the actual battery grip, where I only have 2 OEM batteries inside that grip. So that means I probably get maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes or 2 hours and 30 minutes, maybe. of recording time. So with this particular setup, I can go all day. So no matter how long the shoot lasts, I can go all day without having to replace batteries. And if I did have to replace battery, all I had to do is take another V-mount battery, slap it on, and I'm done. And so that to me was more efficient. And I didn't want to use the battery grip, because what I do with my rigs is I make sure that they can go from my gimbal to my monopod to my tripod without any effort at all. And so with the same shoe, I can use all three. And so it's interchangeable. So if I'm at a wedding or at an event or whatever it may be, even if I'm doing a corporate shoot, I can quickly change to whatever scenario I need to change to, and my adaptability is a lot faster and seamless. So what I really like about this rig is using this battery power helps me be more effective. It cuts down on transition time and those types of things. I just had a corporate shoot. I've been here telling you guys that I'm transitioning into a production house. Well, I had a corporate shoot just recently that I finished up, and I was able to use my A7 III and my A6400, and I was able to successfully get the job done. The client was very well pleased. And so it's all about using the imagery of the A6400, which is phenomenal, by the way. It uses a 6K sensor and it downsamples to 4K, which is awesome because you're getting all that resolution from 6K and it just downsamples it to 4K. So it's packing it into a 4K resolution size. And so I'm really loving that. That is a great addition to the Sony lineup when you can get a $900 camera with a 6K sensor and it downsamples to 4K. And so, man, I'm all for that. If you know anything about cinematography or imagery or that kind of thing, then you understand that you're gonna really like that resolution. And those who use this camera for photography and picture taking, you can really see the difference by using that 6K sensor that's downsampled to 4K in your pictures, because you see all that particular detail that is actually captured, as opposed to another camera that is just has a 4K sensor. So you're actually getting more detail with the 6K sensor than you would get with just another 4K sensor. So with that being said, I don't want to go off on a tangent. I got a fly flying around here. I'm sorry. The fly, I guess, like the lights. Again, centered around the imagery, which is the 6K sensor. That's what I love about this camera, the 6K sensor. And so now what I needed to do was make sure that I get the necessary battery power so I can shoot all day. That makes a difference to me, because if you're on one of those shoots, the last thing you want to do is be packing, you know, all these different batteries and that battery grip, and then it's harder to balance on the gimbal with the battery grip and all that. I can do away with all that with this simple setup right here. So you can take a little zoom in there and you can see that I'm getting the 2 amps, a 5-volt DC going through the USB type B connector, because you still see the plug-in indicator right next to the battery. So yes, I'm powering my monitor and I'm powering my camera from the one V-mount battery, mini V-mount battery that is, from FX line. So there is some things to watch out for. Now, I've been working on this for a couple of weeks, and there's some things that you should know if this is something you're interested in doing. And let me tell you about those right now. First of all, do not try and use this setup and plug in your DTAP to the 12-volt input to your monitor, because a lot of monitors have 12-volt along with the 7.2 volt battery. I made this adapter to go into the battery, and I went ahead and I soldered and made the jack here for the 5.1 DC in there, and I went on ahead and made the cable and those kind of things so that I'm getting the proper voltage to my monitor without taking too much from the battery. And what I've learned is if you try to use the 12-volt in instead of the 7.2 in, you're taking too much from the battery, and not enough is going to be getting to your camera, and you're going to get a blinking yellow light, which is telling you that the power consumption is too low, and you can damage your camera this way. Trust me, I found out the hard way. So with that being said, one of the things that I did was I went ahead and made this particular Sony L series adapter here, battery adapter, and I made it from my FX Lion plate. When I first bought this plate, I bought it for the Z-Cam, and so it basically has the L battery adapter to V-mount. And so I took it apart and I took off the back L series and just put a plate on it, and I went ahead and soldered in a connector there so that my cable plugs right into my adapter. So I wanted this to be kind of seamless so I can have control over my cable management and those types of things, and it works pretty well for me. So that is one of the main things you want to do, is make sure that you're not using the 12-volt input along with powering your camera, your a6400 at the same time with this particular setup. Like I said, I learned the hard way, and I want to make sure I pass that information on to you guys. I've had nothing but good success with this. I really love the cage. As you can see, I have the wooden handle cage. Without this handle here, I can actually still grab it, and I really like that with this particular wooden handle that they put on the cage. I'm gonna make sure I put those descriptions and links in below if you guys want to check out prices, or you may want to order those things. My channel's not big enough, so I don't get any kickbacks from commission or anything like that. I just want to help you guys out. So yeah, I went ahead and I got another Magic Rig handle like on my A7 III. And so I'm all really about liking to have that seamless transition from one camera to the other. I try my best to keep the cameras as close to each other as possible, because I don't have to try to remember this and remember that. With this camera or that camera, I can almost kind of get everything kind of synonymous and synced together. And so it makes it easier in operation when I'm flowing from one camera to another. The other thing about using both cameras, the a6400 and the A7 III, is the A7 III has more buttons. And so the button layout is gonna be different. And so just remembering what's what, but I still try my best to make the buttons that are the same menu function. So yeah, I do that as well. Make sure you guys are really taking advantage of the function key. Using your function menu, you can put in 12 different features that you can control with your fingertip here, and I really love that. So with the lack of buttons like the A7 III, you still can have a bunch of functions at your fingertips just by using the function menu here. So that is a great plus to have. So again, there's not much to this rig. I'm using the Field World F5 monitor. It's a 5-inch monitor. It helps me see everything a little bit bigger, give me a little bit bigger view than the 3-inch monitor on the back. And I guess with this nice rig handle, I really love how I can actually hold this rig, and it's not too heavy one way or another, but it is giving me enough weight based on my lens that I'm using and based on the battery. It gives me enough weight so you know it does not have IBIS inside the camera, so it still gives me enough weight where I don't have that micro jitters. And so I really love that about this particular setup as well. I try my best to keep it as simple as possible. I don't want things on there that I'm not gonna need, that I'm not gonna use, just for the sake of having an awesome looking rig. I really only want to have the things on here that's going to be functional for me. The only other change I think I might make to this rig is I have some USB connectors on order, and I probably end up chopping off this end of this connector and actually solder on a new end, because I want it to fit nice and tight inside the USB type B connector on the camera. This is one of my used cables that I've had, and so it goes in there and it works and it does what it's supposed to do, but I want a more secure fit. So I have a brand new connector on the way, so I can go ahead and get that soldered on and get that plugged into the camera. This 8-bit is gonna do the job for you. So make sure you understand the differences. Don't just go out and try to get the biggest, greatest, latest camera and all that and think that your work or your project or your content is gonna be great because you have the camera. Your work and your project is only going to be as good as the person behind the camera. and that is you. And that was one of the things that I'm doing right now. I'm invested in myself. I'm currently in color training class where I'm learning a little bit more about coloring my footage, color grading to be more specific. And so, yeah, I'm constantly trying to up my game, trying to get myself to another level with lighting and those types of things. And so those are things that are necessary. We need to be able to get ourselves to the next level and whatever that may take and whatever it entails. Let me know what you think about the rig. I'm stoked. I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? Because this setup is going to allow me to be a lot more free without all the cables. I don't know if it's just my OCD or what it may be, but man, it's weird. I only have OCD about certain things, and cable management is one of them. So maybe because I'm an electrician and that's what, you know, cables and wires and all that stuff, that's what I do. Maybe that's what it is. If you guys are looking for more information about the modification that I did, just let me know in the comments below. If you guys want more information about this rig per se, like I said, I'm gonna have the links to, you know, the little simple things I have on this rig. I'm gonna have them in the description below. Go ahead and drop some comments down there below. Let's talk about it. What does your rig look like? How do you need your rig to function? What is the most important thing to you for your rig? Make sure you understand that this will work for basically all the Sony A series, like the A6000, A6100, A6300, A6400, A6500, and the A6600. You still can do these same things. And so, yeah, I'm just kind of excited about it. And go ahead and share this video to those you think might enjoy it, might enjoy the new modifications. Maybe it might help them, maybe it might encourage them. And so, yeah, it's all about battery power. Making sure I have enough battery power to get through an all-day shoot. With my batteries and all these types of things, I don't have any problems whatsoever. Anyway, I don't want to ramble on too much. I'm your big brother. I'm Aaron Jones, and I got your back. If you guys got any questions, make sure you comment down below. I look forward to conversing with you guys. That's something I like to do. And if you notice, for you guys who have been commenting, I kind of get back to you as soon as I can. For all the new subscribers out there, thank you so much for joining the channel. For all the guys who's been with me all this time, thank you so much. I deeply appreciate you guys. And I try my best to, for all you new guys that are coming on, I try my best to go ahead to your channel, check your channel out, see what you're doing, see what kind of work you're putting out. I try to get around to conversing with you on your channel, those types of things, because those are the things I like to do. And one of the things I'm trying to do right now, I'm trying to get my subscriber count up to 1,000. In addition to posting videos, I can also put up blog type posts. And I'm excited about that as well, because that is a new thing that I can actually utilize. All kind of information and stats and all types of things. And hopefully that will help and encourage somebody too. So make sure you share this channel. Let's go ahead and get this subscriber count up to 1,000, because that's gonna free me up to be able to do more things that I'm able to do right now. Without further ado, if you guys are not subscribed already, make sure you go ahead and do so right now. Go ahead and subscribe, hit the little bell, because I'm telling you, I got more content coming at you, and it's gonna be coming at you consistently. So yes, I'm Aaron Jones, I'm your big brother, and I got your back. Make sure you go out and you film something and kill it.